Hi Pisces, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the last week of October. So I'm going to be doing a career and then relationship read. I'm going to be separating them, starting with career. I'm going to timestamp for relationship as well as for the astrology video that I did having to do with the crazy moon energy that's happening on Halloween that we've all been talking about. And some other things. By the way, that video is timestamped, so if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can just jump forward to your sign, whatever that is. So that's both of those are going to be in the description box below. I have two different Lenormand decks, so I'm going to be using this first classical one that I use first for career for our Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus friends. And then we're going to pull a Celtic cross spread. Messages for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Messages that Pisces needs to know at the end of October. Okay, beautiful. Somebody's communicating with you from the other side, Pisces. This could be a mother, an aunt, a cousin, a friend, father, whomever. Beautiful. You guys get that a lot, but you guys are the landlords of the subconscious mind, so that makes sense to me. So we have a lot of Mars energy going on here, having to do with career. Let's pull everything and then I'll read. So I do feel like you guys are going to be dealing with the crazy moon energy. You and Virgos, better than most of the signs. I do feel like that. You're going to have a lot of like third house, ninth house energy. You're going to have some sort of shock in your third house, it does seem like. So having to do with, well, let me just pull these first. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. Well, you could check out the video, but the Uranus surprise is going to be happening in your third house. So that could show up as an actual surprise, like a shock, an external shock, or it could show up as you having an epiphany that seems to come out of nowhere. And I have to tell you, I feel like that may show up for a lot of you because I have a lot of mother energy here. So I don't know, those of you who still have your mother with you, if she's elderly and very wise and you have a very beautiful connection. We have two mother energies here. But this is also connection to the invisible, right? To the veil is very, very thin in this energy, for sure. But you're also going to be doing a reevaluation of your belief system at this time. A very natural one, too. It's not even going to feel like, in other words, things are just going to be hitting you differently, Pisces. You'll be like, oh, why was I thinking about something like that? Or I just don't want to do that anymore. Like something like a change of course hitting you out of nowhere and you're just deciding that you don't want to do a certain something anymore. And this could have to do with something having to do with your lineage or something to do with family tradition, something like that. Even though this is career, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with investment of some sort. But then we have the Mars man here. So, Mars is a leadership energy. It is Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, and it is about a fresh path, a new perspective. But the thing here is with this energy, you may not have all of the answers right now, Pisces. Like, you might have a lot of fire in your belly for what you see in your mind's eye that you want for yourself as far as money, making money, your career, whatever it is. But you may not be able to see it, see the other side of something. Again, it's a leadership energy, right? But it's Aries, and Aries being the baby of the zodiac. If you think about it like this, what are children like when they want to do something? They could be rather impulsive. They could feel very confident. They could do, they really want to kind of take the bull by the horns, but they may not always think everything through. That could be the energy here. But what I like is this level of self-assuredness. And it's this message that you're getting that for you to go after something that's going to incite a new cycle in your life. You're being called to incite a new cycle in your life. The stalks is about the cycles of life. Think about death and birth. I mean, that's what it is, right? Now we have this other mother energy. The polar bear can represent mother. It's also anything that we would get from mother given a relatively healthy relationship, like a roof over our head and food in our stomach and a couple of bucks in our pocket, things that we need, right? This is an energy of protection. So I'm getting two energies of protection here for you as you enter this next stage of however it is that you make money. Now, whenever we get the well means, guess what? You have to look deeper at something, Pisces. There's something that you are not looking at. There's something that you're not seeing. You have to go very, very deep. You say, what are you talking about, Jackie? I'm the 12th house. I know how. Well, you know what? We're all so human, and sometimes we miss things, but there is something that needs to be addressed that's very having to do with your career. And the thing is with the well, it's like hitting almost the rock bottom. There's like this 10%. Once you hit it, you can rise up. Once you hit it, you can have whatever it is that you want, but you must look at something more closely, and it has to do with obstacle. So you have to look at some sort of obstacle that's being presented to you as far as what is getting in your way actually from being able to do what it is that you want in the way of making money, in the way of career, whatever that means for you, whether it's an actual career, a job, investments, whatever it is. You must do that because it does seem like the second that you do that, well, not the second, that would be ridiculous to say that, but once you look at something more closely and you're very honest about the obstacles, that's when something's going to open up. And then we have the heart, and the heart is the shape of peace, contentment, happiness, being able to manifest that material happiness and have that joyous outcome. So it does seem to me that there is, first of all, there needs to be attention paid to nuts and bolts. What do you need? Keeping it real. What do you need to live? What do you need to pay your bills? What do you need, pay your insurance, your phone bill, whatever it is. What's the nuts and bolts, right? What do you need? Be super honest with yourself and then work from there. Understand that you're being called to make a change, but you're not being called to be irresponsible. So you're being called to make a change, figure out what it is that you need, all right, is that monthly nut to crack, and then figure out from there, how can you move forward in a way to address any obstacles that might be in your way. Maybe you have to go back to school. Maybe you have to go for additional training. Maybe you have to get a new business partner. Maybe it's time to sell your business. Maybe it's time to buy the business and you have to look into getting loans or anything like that, whatever it is. Figuring out what it is, being very, very clear, because it's through doing that your happiness is going to be coming. And by happiness, I mean a successful career or success in whatever it is that you're actually going for. And that's going to look a little different to everybody, right? Success is very subjective. Alrighty, so let's get right into the light seers. Okay. Happening now, the devil. Okay, so the devil can indicate imbalance. So, on the surface, this can indicate addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession, anything like that. So you could be just super, super focused on money right now, Pisces, or super focused on everything other than money, where there's just not this lack of balance having to do with your career and how it is that you make money. And imbalance just means where something is out of sync, out of whack in a way that's getting in the way of you being successful in the way that you're really looking for. Now, what's crossing you, for good or bad, we have the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, which is indicative of a new job. This could even be a new home, maybe a new investment. But this does indicate hope returning and some sort of recovery. So I would say that this is definitely a good thing that's kind of blessing you, that's going to help bring you out of any sense of imbalance, which is a good thing. So I like that for sure. We have the Tower reverse. Okay, so the Tower reverse is a fear of change, right? This is feeling very oppressed in a particular situation. So you might be feeling very oppressed when it comes to your career right now. Very kind of stuck in a rut. like you can't go anywhere. But at the same time, any choices that you're making right now about moving yourself forward, you are sort of vibing that you're diverting some sort of a disaster that's sort of on the horizon. You're very focused on your security. You're very afraid of change, though. So it's like, on the one hand, you have this strict fire in your belly that you want to jump on, and into taking this chance, going down this particular road. But at the same time, you're very, very afraid. And it's almost like to the point of feeling shackled, which is actually like a devil energy. The devil energy, I always say, is like being shackled. Let's see what happened in the recent past. We have the Four of Pentacles. So, yeah. So, look, in the recent past, this is you being very, very focused on long-term security. Very focused. Some people in your life may have called you greedy, stingy with your money. Some people could call you that, or maybe you were dealing with an energy who you thought was like that. But regardless, it was about really focusing on your security, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, now let's get a little bit of the history beneath this, right? The history that contributes to the situation. We have the Two of Swords in the reverse. So you are feeling very, very confused. Information overload, needing to compromise, feeling very indecisive about something. What do I do? Do I sell my business? Do I buy a new one? Do I get rid of everything? Do I change jobs? Do I go back to school? What do I do? What do I do? A lot of you are just maybe in a space where it's like, oh, our business is going to open next month. Oh, wait, now it's in 6 months. Oh, wait, now it may be never, kind of thing. And you're just in this space of like, you don't know what to do because you feel like you're hanging in limbo, And the indecision could be because of the limbo kind of vibe that you're feeling. Let's see what's going on in the near future. Ten of Pentacles, beautiful. So it's all good. All right. Ten of Pentacles is good. Some of you might be deciding to retire. Some of you may end up coming into some sort of inheritance because this is the idea of leaving a legacy, being very focused on leaving a legacy of some sort, anything like that. But money being good, connection being good, having to do with either investments that you have, some sort of business, things ultimately in the near future ironing themselves out, things going in a better direction, which is really good. Now, this is your attitude and your perspective right now. We have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands in reverse. Two of Wands in reverse is plans falling through in some way. Something that you had planned has fallen through. So maybe you saw yourself working at this place for another however many years, or you planned on buying that business, or you planned on investing in that property, or whatever it is. There was a way that you saw your life going where plans ended up falling apart. And the idea here is, though, along with that, is this idea that maybe you were thinking a little too small for yourself. Could be. That's one interpretation that's not going to resonate with all of you. But let's check out the opinions of those that are close to you regarding your situation here. We have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is very, very free-spirited energy, very creative. So your close family, friends, people around you, maybe your significant other, could be viewing you as somebody who's highly creative, who's very, very passionate about what they do, very motivated to move forward. They may not even realize this space that you're in, this space of indecision. They may not even realize how very worried you are about your security, or how very frustrated you are that something has fallen through and your need to reevaluate things. They may not have any knowledge of that whatsoever. But let's see what's going on in your inner emotions with your hopes and fears. Page of Cups. Very nice. Page of Cups is new, is new work, is something that you feel very passionate about, that speaks to your heart space. So this could be some sort of new idea that you're you're coming up with in your mind, a new approach, a new path, a new strategy. And as a final outcome, we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse, fully learning from the past. Absolutely. So this could be for some of you, this could be going back to a job that you used to be at, that you were very successful at one time, and you going back to that. For others of you, it's learning that you should have never gotten into whatever it was that you were in this first place, and you going back to a way that's better going to serve your dreams and what it is that you want, right? Because the Eight of Cups in the upright is Saturn and Pisces, right? It's Saturn and you guys. So it's understanding that in the upright, you're never going to have your dreams met. So it's with a heavy heart and some sadness, but with no regret, that you know you need to leave something. You might feel a little challenged in absolutely leaving something behind, but you are fully learning from it. There is this full learning. You're learning a lesson. So I see there being some transition, some transformation that's going on here, particularly with that Page of Cups energy. I don't feel like a lot of people in your life really know what's going on. You may be talking to a couple of people about it. Most of the people are not really aware of your level of concern about your security, your level of indecision, anything like that. But I see it ending well for you. So I think that's good. I think that's going to end up being a good thing for our Pisces friends. Alrighty. So let's get into relationship now, okay? So we're going to use the Dreaming Way Lenormand for this one. This is a very sweet, whimsical deck, I think. Let's see what kind of messages for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in relationships. Let's see what Pisces needs to know. So get some messages from Lenormand. Fish. Mountain. Let me pull the cards and then I'll interpret them. Stars. Mice, moon, tree. Oh, Pisces, it seems like I'm not going to say settling, but I feel like acceptance, I suppose, maybe is a better word. There's something about emotionally, something is eating away at you. And you're feeling it very deeply and you're not really discussing it with people on the outside. You're trying to work with what you have, right? Because the fish energy is about, first of all, focusing on your money and just dealing with whatever you have available to you. But there being some challenge in getting over someone and something in the past, because you honestly do believe that this situation was meant to be, and it may be. It may be. Your story may not be over with somebody. It may be, but it may not be. But what you do know is that there's something deeply troubling you in a very deep emotional space that you're really not talking to anybody about. But the thing is, it's like you can't have... There's this inability to line up what you're feeling for someone and what you're able to have with them out in the 3D. And it really is bothering you. And it's bothering you because you feel very deeply that you guys are meant to be together. And you still believe that. So you may feel like you guys are on a break, or you guys are in a bad space in your marriage, or whatever the case is. Those of you who are single, I feel like there is somebody still lingering on your soul. So you may be single, you may be out there trying to date, you may be out there trying to move on with your life, which you have to do. What are you going to do, right? But there's this energy that seems to be lingering. And it's a frustrating kind of energy for you. It's troubling because at the one time you feel like... But with the fish, I just to go back, not to cut myself off, with the fish often shows up as like in a read like this, where it's like recognizing that you can't do more than what's going on in the relationship, right? You don't have the power to do that. And at the same time, it's like who's available to you to date, and you're going to date, and they may be very nice people, but it's not actually what you want. It's not the energy of who you really wish you were with. And that's going to be the challenge. It's going to be bothering you for some time. But, like, what, then, right? I mean, what do you do? Right? You have to move on at a certain point, but it's going to be deeply bothering you because you're going to feel like you're really supposed to be with somebody else. So this could certainly be a challenge. Let's see what's happening now for you having to do with this, right? The Chariot in the reverse indicates giving up, losing direction, taking some poor advice, making a bad decision having to do with relationship, maybe making a decision about a conversation, about something that you chose to do within the relationship. This could be making the decision to be with the wrong kind of person, okay? But there is this element of giving up, of giving up on something. So Pisces, this could be you that gave up on something, or this could be somebody who gave up on you, on your relationship. But that right now is what's going on. And what's crossing is the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is commitment issues. Maybe somebody has too many choices available to them, and so they gave up on your relationship, you know. In the crowning, we have the Six of Cups in reverse. This is very much living in the past, right? Maybe having unrealistic expectations about someone or about a particular relationship. Being naive or thinking somebody else was naive, surrounding some sort of conversations that you've had or something that was going on. So I even, listen, for those of you who are single, I mean, it does indicate right now, for some of you, you might be making some lousy choices. Careful, you know, where you're having this commitment issue, right? You might be dealing with this commitment issue because you're living in the past and you're trying to make yourself feel better right now. I mean, I know you understand that. I'm not judging, but let's be careful with that, right? Okay, so let's see what happened in the recent past. We have the Unknown card. This tells me, Pisces, you are like very confused about what happened. Something happened where you're like, I don't even know what the hell just happened. Okay, so let me pull. We have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So Queen of Swords in the reverse is somebody who is dishonest, who is not kind to you. Maybe somebody who is rather cold and rigid in their logic. Maybe they just weren't honest, you know. They weren't honest, but like you don't even know what happened. So you feel like you were almost, I don't know, bamboozled or what is that? Blindsided, right? Where you thought things were going in a particular way and it ended up not going in that direction. Okay, now let's look at what's beneath this, the history that contributes to the situation. We have the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands, this indicates like rivalry and challenges in the relationship. So, and you know, wands are also the phallic symbol, so maybe there were issues with intimacy, there was issues with ego, seeing things eye to eye. Battle of the wills, battle of the ego could have been the situation here. Now, maybe you were dealing with an energy who wasn't as forthcoming as you, or maybe you were more forthcoming than them, where you didn't realize it was as serious as maybe, you know, the battle of the wills maybe was, you didn't realize how serious it was, to the point of this person like pulling away, or vice versa. Okay, we have the near future. We have the Four of Wands in the reverse. So this is, just like leaving. Now this is in the near future, okay? So this is an idea of leaving. This could be moving. This could be you making the decision to move away. This could be them making the decision to move away and to just not even be in the relationship anymore. And this is something that you're having to assimilate into your experience with them or just deal with. But maybe this could be somebody in because they had to move, or they were going to move, or they went in another direction. So as far as your attitude and perspective right now, we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So the Ten of Swords in the reverse is you being focused on recovery, on moving on, a new start, forgiving whatever happened, and you really being very focused on moving past something. But we're not robots, so it doesn't just happen like that. I do feel like you are trying to get yourself together. You are trying to move yourself on. You're in this space right now. That is absolutely your attitude right now and your perspective. What am I going to do? I have to just move on. The opinions of those close to you we have the moon. So the opinions of those regarding this close to you is that you may not be telling the total truth about how something went, or you might be hiding something, because the moon is very kind of like, what is the moon? The moon is like hiding, right? It's unseen problems. It's problems that you're not discussing. This is what people are saying, that there being some other voluntary changes. And this being very sort of intuitive in the people around you, where they know like there's something more to a story than meets the eye. But it's your life and it's up to you to disclose whatever you want to disclose. But I just feel like close friends, family members, anything like that. This could even have to do with the partner that you were involved with, where they feel like you weren't telling the total truth about something. Okay, and then we have the Four of Swords, which is indicating your inner emotions. So the Four of Swords is very much trying to just get some rest, trying to recover, putting yourself in a retreat, sort of solitude sort of place, figuring out what the hell it all is, and like what is like good, healthy, solid relationship even mean? You know, that's the Four of Swords energy, because it's Jupiter in Libra, and Jupiter expands whatever it's in, and Jupiter's all about luck and expansion, right? And Libra is the house of partnerships, right? So it's 7th house of partnerships and fairness and all of that. So you may be in this space where emotionally you're trying to figure out, you know, what was fair, what wasn't fair. Did you show up as fair as you could have? Did they show up as fair as they could have? What was, what wasn't, you know, back and forth kind of thing. Okay, could certainly be that kind of energy. Now, as the final outcome, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. And the 10 of Wands in reverse does indicate, you know, taking a break and finally saying no and feeling a sense of lightening up and freedom. And that cycle just being over and you feeling lighter because of it. Now, it doesn't mean that you wouldn't want somebody back, that you wouldn't want something to work. But it's like this space of acceptance where you're recognizing that it's just not going to work. It's not working. So the best thing that you could do is to accept and move on and just heal and focus on yourself. And really that is what I'm getting right now from this. So remember, this is only for the last week of October. Let's see what happens next week, but let's pull some oracles. Let's see what these say. Healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, and being happier. Very nice. The runner, a runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. So maybe that was them, maybe it's you, you know, it doesn't matter. That just seems to be the energy that was happening in that particular connection. The chaser, we got the runner and the chaser. Chaser in a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. So I don't know, you know, one of you could have been one, the other, you know. Was there total honesty, Pisces, or was, you know, did you hold certain things back? Did you tweak the truth? Do you feel like they were tweaking the truth somewhere? You know, it's just not a healthy connection. It does not seem like. Seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. Separation, sadness and missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. Heartbroken. Deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, mourning. Yeah, there's no question that there is a lot of pain here. There's no question, yeah. So there's a lot of pain. But I do feel like there's a certain level of acceptance about it. I mean, you know, at least consciously, maybe not subconsciously just yet, but at least consciously. My beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. Pisces. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. embrace. Through each other, you find the missing pieces. So Pisces, what the hell happened here? Grave misunderstandings, some sort of dishonesty, fear of intimacy, fear of abandonment, unhealthy communication. Who was dishonest? Why was the dishonesty going on? Who felt too vulnerable to be fully exposed? Who was hiding what kind of thing? That's the vibe I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting, you know? Yeah. All right, my friends, you know, this is what I have for you for this week. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.